What it do, chooms? Welcome back to SPACEJB. I'm your host, Space, aka Spacey Wells.
How about we go over the plan?
Throughout the story of Cyberpunk 2077, we the player are exposed to a plethora of different characters that in one way or another weave their way in and out of V's life. With most great RPGs, if you're anything like myself, for many different reasons can easily become attached to many of the side characters. No matter if it's based off of their looks, cool dialogue, special abilities, or how they just connect with the main character, if done correctly, we can easily find ourselves being enveloped in that dynamic and feeling that we are a part of it, giving us more reason to care about these side characters. Unfortunately, these attachments can come with the potential of having to bear the emotional weight of losing them. For us lovers of the futuristic dystopian masterpiece that is Cyberpunk 2077, we have never felt more pain than when we had to watch our beloved, fearless brother-like companion Jackie Wells take his last breath.
I'm sorry! I'm sorry, Wilson! Wilson, I'm sorry! I'm sorry!
Even though fans of the Cyberpunk game might remember that in the cinematic trailer, we got a glimpse of Jackie's demise, though as players, we didn't know how soon or late this was said to happen in the story. And spoiler alert, it's pretty damn early. In this video, I want to talk about Jackie's backstory and break down some theories on why I think that the toughest hermano out of Haywood's early demise played a huge role in the game of Cyberpunk 2077. And if you like this kind of content or are just a huge Cyberpunk fan like myself, then don't forget to upgrade the like button to Trauma Team Platinum and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any of my Cyberpunk content. Jackie's tale starts off in Haywood, where he was a son to a loving mother and a father who was an OG member of the Valentinos. During 2020, the gang was mostly known for trying to chase all of the fine women, no matter if they had a partner or not. And by 2077 had grown to be one of the most dominant and largest gangs in Night City, taking over the Haywood area. Life for him and his mom were less than preem, suffering significantly at the hands of a very violent and physically abusive father. At some point, Jackie had enough of the abuse, eventually turning the tables on the man when he was strong enough, beating him so bad that it hospitalized him, and then threatening to kill the man if he ever showed his face around Haywood again.
It's gotta be Jackie's dad.
Old school ganger. Valentinos, of course.
Did you meet him?
No, I only ever heard about him. But he didn't exactly inspire many fond memories.
Coming into his teen years, Jackie found himself now assuming the role of the man of the house. Needing to help Mama Wells out with some things, he had to find himself a set of wheels. Around the age of 15 is when Jackie first got on a motorcycle, and ever since then, he didn't want anything more than two wheels and an engine. Jackie's natural grease monkey abilities started to showcase in his early years and followed him through his adult life as well, because every single bike he owned after his first, he had to tinker with or soup up to some degree, all the way to the arc bike that we get at the end of the hero's mission if you take the key from Mama Wells. After kicking his dad's ass, I think it's safe to theorize Jackie might have been a natural born brawler as well. That theory is a little more reinforced by Vic during the end of the hero's mission when he's talking during Jackie's ofrenda.
Among the membership of the Night City Devils Boxing Club, we had this saying: make your best friends among the fighters who knock you out cold. And it's true. Jackie's arm was a cannon. No one's ever hit me as hard. I can still almost feel it. "12 rounds, buddy."
Though it's not specified when he took an interest in boxing, I would just assume and theorize it could have been around his teenage years. Being a natural born tough guy and an all-around badass, Jackie found himself joining up with the Valentinos, a very well-known gang in the Cyberpunk lore and the most dominant gang in the Hayward area. And I know what y'all are thinking. Space, why would he join the same gang as the father he despised? Sometimes, the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. Though Jackie isn't an abusive man like his dad, you have to consider the area that he grew up in. The most dominant gang in the Haywood area was the Valentinos. Not having that male role model in his life and no known siblings could have had him seeking some sort of brotherhood. Could have had Jackie feeling that this was the next step for him in making a name for himself in his own hometown. After only a short period of time running with the Valentinos, Jackie found himself in the middle of a gunfight between them and the Maelstrom gang, which left Jackie hospitalized with 3 bullet wounds to the chest. And learning from Mama Wells during the hero's mission, this was the time that Jackie decided he no longer wanted to be a member of the gang.
When he was about 19 years old, Jackie was in the Valentinos. They were at war with Maelstrom back then. I get a call from the hospital. They tell me he got shot 3 times, just by the heart. He was conscious when I get there. So many tubes coming out of him. He looked like a pulpo, like an octopus or something. He tell me, he said, "No te preocupes, mama. Look, I'm bulletproof. Nothing bad will ever happen to me." And when I go, he take off his Valentino's ring. He swear he won't need it anymore. But he was not scared. He just didn't want me to worry. Descansa en paz, mi hijo.
After going his separate ways from the Valentinos, Jackie and them were still on good terms. Yet Jackie's ambition and drive to become the family's breadwinner, to become that Night City legend and live in the life of luxury he so craved wasn't lost on him. So for about 4 years, he started doing small mercenary gigs to hopefully make a name for himself while still chasing that elusive dream of his. Depending on the life path you choose will determine how the player is introduced to old Jackito. Yet one thing that always remains the same is that Jackie wants to hit the major leagues no matter the risks involved. Hitting the major leagues was the baddest thing a small-time merc could accomplish. Thanks to an awesome cutscene, we get to see how Jackie and V's relationship evolves from when they first met to that more of a kinship where they really treat each other like siblings. Also around this time is where we get to learn about Jackie from the horse's mouth. We get to learn about Jackie's goals and how he truly views Night City. And to me, this is what leads me into my theory on why Jackie's death means so much to us the players, as well as means so much to the game of Cyberpunk 2077 from the standpoint of playing V. At the end of the rescue mission, when Jackie and V are driving in the car, Jackie goes on a rant about why he loves Night City so much.
Can't stop digging Night City.
City like any other, just bigger.
Nah, mano. Not just any other city. Morgan Blackhand, Andrew Wayland, Adam Smasher. Legends are born here.
To me, Jackie represented someone who completely bought into the romanticized version of Night City and its merc legends. The slogan, City of Dreams, I see to be just as dangerous as the lure of an anglerfish. It's deceptive, although constantly hypnotizing its prey to get closer to its teeth until it's too late.
I'm gonna be your best friend. Good feelings gone.
Night City is a very dark and violent place that could corrupt absolutely anyone, and Jackie is no stranger to violence himself. Growing up in Night City, I can see him being exposed to the stories about these Night City legends who may have died in such amazing fashion, going out with a bang, so to speak, to the living legends that are still pulling major strings to this day, like David Martinez or even Rogue. hometown heroes giving him a bar to reach for, not really knowing the true sacrifice that it takes to get there. Every single person at the top has lost somebody. Rogues lost her whole team. She lost everybody. Even down to Claire, the afterlife bartender, shows her dark side that Night City brought about due to what happened to her husband. It's a eat or be eaten kind of place. He not only knew that, but accepted the facts and risks that came with becoming a legend. Death had his number the whole time, and Jackie wasn't just gonna wait around for it to make the call.
But if you got the cojones and you know how to use them, you can do damn near anything.
Unless you catch a bullet.
Even then, you go out with a bang, right?
His life wasn't always blazing bullets and being the most biggest badass around town. Jackie also had a bit of a soft side. To avoid the lockdown at the end of the rescue mission, Jackie tries to pull a fast one on the NPCD officer by telling her he's really trying to be a stand-up guy and needs to get home to his woman as soon as possible. At face value, most players may take this as a simple joke. Jackie being a con man, a smooth talker, somebody with a silver tongue who's just trying to get over on NCPD. And yes, partly true, he was using this as an excuse. There was a lot of validity in what he was saying. Misty had a major impact on Jackie like no one else, and it was hard to make this video without mentioning her. The two started off as childhood friends, growing up in Haywood together, and didn't start dating until 2076. After the gunfight in the rescue mission and Sandra Dorset is picked up, the first person Jackie thinks about is Misty. He even asked V can he borrow the car so he can go ahead and take Misty out on a date. After receiving a key to Jackie's motorcycle garage from Mama Wells, which you find out he eventually moved into, upon arriving to his garage, you'll have the opportunity to conversate with Misty.
Jack talked about you a lot. Always saying how much you meant to him.
Did he really say that? I bet he used different words.
Maybe. But that's what he meant. I really believe that.
You actually got to know him. The real Jackie. Everybody else thought he was a goofball with a rough-hewn face and an edge. But they're wrong.
What did you see in him?
Let me tell you what he told me once. Told me he'd take a bullet for me. In an instant. Even if it'd kill him.
Spoken like a true Haywood boy.
A man. With dreams, ambitions. Only thing they cost him was his life.
One thing we can say about our beloved brother is that he never wavered from his dream, constantly brandishing the "so what if I die" kind of mentality to his inner circle as a way to keep people from worrying about him, similar to what he did to Mama Wells the time he got shot during the Maelstrom fight. Now y'all know I love me some space theories, and this is definitely the time for some in regards to Jackie's death. There are two tarot cards that I associate to Jackie Wells, one being strength and the other being the devil. We already know he had the physical skills to make it through almost any situation. Those skills also translated into how mentally focused he was on his one true goal. Once he had his eyes set on something, there wasn't much anyone or anything could do to make him change course. Through all the things that he went through, all the ups and downs, he stayed dedicated to becoming a Night City legend. Our Chum Delioso died after fleeing a gunfight against some Arasaka guards post robbing Yorinobu Arasaka for a prototype chip with the rocker boy terrorist Johnny Silverhand's engram on it. Talk about going out with a bang. The devil sneakingly plays on the same passion that Jackie uses for strength, using his constant push towards his goal as a blinding addiction that could lead him to being trapped, taking a chance against the Megacorp, or even taking his chance against Night City, which in this case I consider the devil.
The devil? Everything is the devil to you, mama!
Being lured in by the sheer status and magnitude that came with being a legend in Night City, and getting ever so close to his goal with all the pressure on his shoulders would ensure that Jackie would never turn back. Before Jackie's fall, we find out that he was actually trying to clean up the dark energy he felt surrounding him. upon finding a half-finished mandala on a table at his place.
Oh, Jackie.
That a mandala?
Mm-hmm. It's a long story.
Hey, you alright?
I'm so much better than all right. I once told Jackie he should sweep all the dark energy out of this place. A sand mandala would do the trick, for example. He told me that out of sand he'd build a castle, a home, the Wells family hideout, stronghold, something.
I guess you made a bigger impression than you thought.
I guess I did.
Isn't it just a little, janky?
It's hideous. But it's also the most beautiful thing I've ever seen.
After seeing that, I've always thought and pretty much theorized that Jackie was starting to feel the walls closing in on him as well. His whole bulletproof persona was really being put to the test, and having the opportunity to hit the big leagues and have this mission was maybe giving him a little more anxiety or scaring him a bit more than he was letting off. And I'm not saying that Jackie was scared to do the mission, but I'm thinking that he was really hoping he would survive this mission. He probably didn't want to bite the bullet this soon into achieving his goal, hopefully having the chance to spend some of the whopping eddies he would have made after completing the gig. V basically witnessed their best friend take his last breath after their first big mission together. And we all know that his death hit V pretty damn hard. I've always felt that if everything besides Jackie's death went right, V would have taken the money and probably left the Merc life right then and there. We all know that there needs to be an underlying reason to push any protagonist into the story and give us players the reasons to want to continue in playing the game. V had to experience a major loss and be given a new reason to fight for their life. Losing someone who we find out through exposition is like the closest thing to a family member that V has, on top of getting betrayed and now having an engram slowly killing them and taking over their body simultaneously, was the perfect recipe to propel anyone deeper into the events of the game. Thanks to Cyberpunk 2077's lead quest designer Pal Sasko, the decision on Jackie's sudden death was a very well thought out process. Even though it seemed like there could have been a lot more content, they really wanted to get to the story of Johnny Silverhand. And due to other reasons, this was an inevitable thing that had to happen in the game.
My cookie sweat road killing Jackie early in the game was really bad and flushed. I mean, my cookies, did you play Witcher 3 maybe, and Battle of Cormoran? I hope you did. So when I was designing that quest, I actually had to kill another very important character. And the reason why I had to do it is that that event had a really huge impact on Ciri, who she is and what she wants. And Jackie's death in the game has a similar impact on V. And the thing is, it's not that we haven't done this recklessly. Like, that is a decision that has been discussed many times on many different ways, to make sure that we are really doing something that should be done, right? Like, I know that a lot of you wanted even more content with Jackie, you know, in the prologue and so, before that happened, and that's still, like, I think that would have been cool, but at a given time we couldn't, like, afford it, you know, looking at the whole scope of all the quests, all the open world content that we had to make. So this is how it was looking like, and Jackie had to die because of many reasons from the main story, as you probably know, because it's not really, I think it's not really difficult to figure out what was the reasoning behind that. Yeah, Wojtas wrote, Vesemir's death happens much later in the story and it's greater impact than Jackie's. Yes, absolutely, but please remember that Jackie and Wojtas, Jackie and Vesemir, they had different roles, right, in the story, so it's not identical. I was just using this example to show you that, you know, you sometimes as a storyteller need to kill the character in your story to achieve something better, you know, some greater result or something more important. And that was really it.
And there we go. Once again, I get to leave it up to you, my loyal Chumbadas. What did y'all think about Jackie's early demise? Let me know in the comments below. I'd also love to know what was your favorite tarot card design. And thank y'all so much for sticking around. If you liked the video, don't forget to upgrade the like button's health package and subscribe to the channel. It is a small gesture for you, but it means a whole hell of a lot to me. Remember to show yourself gratitude as often as you can. Know damn well that you're deserving of love and can achieve any goal that you set your mind to and work hard for. Know I'm always sending you good vibrations and positive energy. And until my next video, let's take off. I'm out. Peace.